Hello there, welcome again to another lazy show where we help you waste less time in Autocad. So as always, we show up here each Sunday at 10 a.m. but today it's an exception. We are 1 hour late due to some personal difficulties, but I still wanted to show up today. So we're gonna start soon sharing some useful settings that I personally changed in my new Autocad 2024. So hopefully they're gonna be helpful to you as well, because it will kind of improve your productivity in Autocad, right? So as always, I'm gonna start reading some of your comments in a moment. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and say thank you to these folks on my screen, because they are people who are supporting these live shows, right? They believe on my work, on what I do, and thank you to all of you folks again for supporting the show either on Patreon or as a YouTube member. All right, so let's keep moving with today's live stream. So let's see, we have some comments on the chat already. So let's see, our friend Dropout Engineer is on the chat, says hello sir. Hello Dropout Engineer, happy to have you here today. So hopefully you are doing good. And we also have our friend Kumar on the chat. Kumar says, good morning sir. Good morning, Kumar. Hope everything is well over there. For people who don't know, right now in Pennsylvania in the United States, but I'm originally from Peru in South America. Where are you connecting from? If you can let everybody know that, that would be awesome too. Let's see over here. I'm gonna start getting ready. And so we can start today's presentation. All right, let me get ready over here on my second screen. Okay, so we have 3 people connected on the chat live. That's awesome, especially because again we are 1 hour late today. So let's keep moving. All right, so give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get ready over here before we start the presentation. Okay. All right, so I'm ready to start here, and if you have any question, just put it in the chat and we will be able to answer it live. All right. Okay, so let's go and jump to today's presentation, guys. Okay. So I wanted to change my settings on the new Autocad 2024, but without having a place to store it or save it, it was a matter of time for Autocad to crash and lose all of my settings, right? So then what I did is I created a new profile using the options command. And here I could go ahead and go to the profile tab, and there was an option here to add to the list, and I proceeded to name my new profile. So Arquitecto 2024, and then finally I set current that profile and clicked OK to restore my settings if problems in the future exist, right? So that's one of the first things or settings I changed in the new AutoCAD 2024. So what do you think about this setting, guys? Do you think it's important to have it or not? Again, in my case, I don't like to lose any of my changes in my settings that I do. So that's what I like to do, this first step, to have a backup and always restore my settings from my profile. So what do you think? Let me know on the chat. Do you think this is important? You don't care about saving your settings? Just put it on the chat before we move to the next setting that I changed in AutoCAD 2024, right? So let's see we have comments before we proceed to the next setting that I changed, right? I'm sharing 10 settings that I changed for AutoCAD 2024. So let me get ready over here for the setting number. So I'm gonna go from 10 all the way down to 1, right? So this would be setting number 9 then. Right. Okay, so if there are no questions, I'm gonna move to the next setting, guys. So let me get ready over here on my second screen. All right, so let's keep moving with the setting number 9. Okay. So I wanted to finalize my drawing, but my architectural style or font style wasn't being used. So I opened the options in AutoCAD and went to the Files tab to add a path to my support file path. So the path or the folder that I added, of course, was my font folder, right, where my architectural fonts was located. So once I added that one, nothing really happened. Again, my architectural fonts weren't showing. It was because I needed it to close and reopen AutoCAD. So that's what I did. After I went ahead and reopened the new AutoCAD 2024, which is reopening on my second screen right now, and went ahead and opened my drawing, I could see immediately the changes and my architectural fonts were showing like so. So yeah, what do you think about this next setting that I just showed, guys, about the fonts that you need to implement on your new AutoCAD 2024? Otherwise, you won't have the correct fonts that you regularly use, right? So let me know on the chat what do you think about this setting number 9 that I changed for the new AutoCAD 2024. Do you think it's important to add your fonts? You don't care? Just let me know. Put it on the chat. We have another comment on the chat. It's our friend Douglas Michael says, didn't think you'll be here today. Happy Easter. Douglas, happy to have you here, and happy Easter also to you. I mean, I had some personal difficulties, that's why we are showing up here 1 hour late, right? Because we usually show up here each Sunday at 10 a.m. But I still wanted to show up with you guys. I didn't want to miss today live stream, so that's why I'm here, sharing a little bit of my knowledge, right? Like for instance, today I'm sharing 10 settings that I personally changed in my new AutoCAD 2024. So hopefully it's gonna be also helpful to you. We have another comment on the chat. Is Douglas says, I came late, I'll have to watch it later. Sure, Douglas, you can do that also. Douglas says, thank you, Doug, for being here as always. Very happy for that, because you are a recurrent subscriber or member, right, of that of our show. All right, so let's keep moving with the next setting. This would be setting number 8, I believe. So we are going from starting from all the way up 10 and going down to setting number 1, right? So this would be setting number 8 that I changed. So let's go and jump to that setting then. Okay. So I wanted to work faster in my drawings, but zooming in and out was a very slow process. So I changed a setting called zoom factor, and I changed it to from 20 to 100, which was the maximum, and this way I could quickly zoom in or out and work faster in my drawings. So what do you think, guys, about this setting that I changed in the new AutoCAD 2024? Do you think it's gonna be helpful to you? You don't care about zooming in or out in a slow process? Just let me know on the chat before we move to the next setting. Let's see over here. While you put it in the chat, what do you think? I'm gonna start getting ready for the next setting over here. Okay. So I'm just getting ready, guys. I'm not doing anything over here. Okay. All right. So I have a couple of comments already, so I'm gonna start reading them right now. Okay. All right. Okay, we have some comments before we move to the next setting. Our friend Duke says, I like the zoom dynamic. Yeah, Duke, I mean, there are many settings for the zoom. So our friend Duke is talking about the zoom command and picking the option dynamic over here at the command line, and that way we can zoom in or out. But what I like to do is simply change the speed of my zoom factor, and that way I can quickly zoom in or out without scrolling my middle mouse wheel right that much. So I simply scroll it really quick and I'm right there. So yeah, those are different personal preferences, right, that people use to work more efficient in AutoCAD. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Duke. And let's keep moving with the next setting. So let's see over here. Okay. So this would be setting number 7. We have a comment on the chat before we proceed. Duke says, my mouse has different settings to do that. Oh, great. Yeah, I mean, there are other mouse that you can also change the speed, right? Yeah, sure. I mean, I have a mouse right now here that I use also. Let me see. Yeah. So, and yeah, this mouse has also some speed buttons that you can change or configure. Oops. But yeah, I mean, thanks again for sharing your experience with zooming in or out in AutoCAD Duke. So let's keep moving now. All right, we've set in number 7, I believe. Yeah. So I wanted to work efficiently in AutoCAD, right? For instance, moving my signage from the moving my signage from the center point. Oops. Oh. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna clean this up really quick. Okay. All right. So let me start again. So I wanted to work faster in AutoCAD, right? Moving or editing my objects, but I didn't have the correct snap settings to move my objects, for instance, from the midpoint, right? I didn't have that option. So that's why I changed some of the settings for snaps or object snaps to have first the midpoint option on, so that way I could quickly utilize and move my objects using the option of midpoint, and that way I could go ahead and move it exactly on the middle of my building, like so. Also, another snap setting that I turned on was the snap setting for the let me see over here, for the note option. So the note, because I wanted it to align my text, right? Using the stretch command, I wanted to align my text from this point over here and aligning it with all this other point, but it wasn't snapping, right? So that's why I turned on this snap setting, which was called note, and this way I could quickly align my text by snapping. Oops, it's not snapping over here on this side. Let me fix that really quick because we are doing this live. Oops, my AutoCAD is crashing right now. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Okay, finally. Yeah. All right. Okay, let me fix this, guys, this text. Okay. That text is fixed. Now I need to fix this text. All I'm doing right now is removing the overridden settings that the text had. All right. Okay, so let me go over again with this why I turn on this setting. So again, I wanted to align my text, right, quickly using the stretch command, but again I couldn't snap on the edge of my text. So that's why I turn on this snap setting called Node on AutoCAD 2024 to quickly align my text from this node or edge of my text with the other one, like so. So here we go, guys. Those are two snap settings that I changed to in AutoCAD 2024, the node and the midpoint options. So let me know if you think these were useful also, or maybe you don't need them. So just let me know based on your experience. I want to hear from you before we move to the next setting that I changed in AutoCAD 2024, right? So let me get ready over here while you let me know on the chat what do you think. So I'm gonna start getting ready for the next setting that I changed. Okay. Right, we have some comments on the chat already. I'm gonna start reading your comment soon, but all I'm doing right now is just getting ready for the next setting that I change, so you're not getting don't get confused. I'm just getting ready over here. So restore all context, restore. All right, okay, so I'm ready for the next setting, but before we have some comments on the chat. Douglas says, bring that snap setting back up. Did they remove mid between 2 points? No, they didn't, Duke. Those are two different options. So the midpoint is very helpful to quickly move any object, or not even move, but stretch using any command, and simply use it from the midpoint, right, of that object. So that's different to mid between 2 points. For people who don't know, let me show you what Douglas is referring to with mid between 2 points. So let me turn off the midpoint option over here. And what our friend Douglas is talking about is, let's say we want to move this object from the midpoint. We don't have that option, right, of the midpoint, because I just turned it off. But if we use the middle between 2 points, which with the shortcut M2P, I could go ahead and select my first point and my second point, and that way I will grab my object from the midpoint, right? So that's what our friend Doug is talking about. So yeah, you can again utilize that option, Doug, or the mid between 2 points. That's again a personal preference, and they work for different situations, right? But of course you need to know both if you want to be more proactive working in AutoCAD. All right, so let me turn that midpoint back on, and let me read another comment. I have 2024, but haven't had the time to set it up. Yeah, Duke, I mean, yeah, that's the hardest part, right? We just went over how to update to the new AutoCAD 2024 version last week on Sunday. And now we realize we need to set it up, right? There are some settings that we need to change again to keep up with our workflow, right? But there's a good comment, Duke. I understand you. Douglas says, I use it for moving to a M2P. Yep, middle between 2 points. Yep, so again, you are referring to the to the technique that I just showed, right? To move objects in the middle of 2 points. So thank you for sharing that with everybody, right? Because that's what we do here, right? We try to share what we know with all of you so you can stop wasting your time, right, in AutoCAD. So let's keep moving with the next setting that I changed in the new AutoCAD 2024. Over here. Okay. I'm getting ready over here on my second screen. Okay. All right, guys, I'm getting ready over here. Give me 1 second. All right. So I wanted to simplify the colors of my background to something easy for my eyes, but having the paper space white like so wasn't helping, right? So what I did was then go to the options and change some of the background colors using this color option, and went ahead and match my model background color, which was this color over here, match it to my paper space color like so. So this way I could simplify my life, right, to kind of have the same color on model as well as paper space. And I already had the differentiation factor, which was these gray areas over here. So immediately I knew that I was on model or on paper space, right? Not only that, but I also changed the color of my crosshair, because you can see the problem over here. If we moved from out of the viewport to the side, it works good, the color of my crosshair, but if I go here on paper space, it's kind of getting lost. So what I did is again match the color of model space, which is white, for my crosshair, and I use the same steps, the option to change the colors again, in this case of my crosshair, to a color that match, in this case white, that match my model space. So this way this crosshair color will work either if I'm here on the gray area or inside my viewport like so. So yeah, guys, what do you think about these color settings that I changed in AutoCAD 2024 again to simplify, kind of to make my life easier for my eyes, right? So I think you should implement that too. So let me know in the chat, what do you think? Let me read some of your comments before we move to the next setting that I changed in AutoCAD 2024. Okay, so we have a comment in the chat. It says, it's our friend Rachel, says, hello everyone. Hello Rachel, happy to have you here today, again on a different time, because usually we do this at 10 a.m. right, as some of you already know that, but again, due to some personal difficulties, I'm here 1 hour late, but still wanted to show up, so I didn't want to miss today's live stream, guys. Our friend Duke says, I prefer dark background, easier on the eyes. Yes, Duke, that's why I'm changing these settings, right, in AutoCAD 2024, because if you open it for the first time, you will see that the color is white, which is again very, very strong for your eyes. So I don't recommend to use that color, white. But again, this is the setting that I changed regarding the colors of the backgrounds for AutoCAD 2024. So thank you for sharing that, Duke. Douglas says, hey Rachel, happy Easter. Rachel says, I use black model and black paper space. Yeah, so that's a personal preference again. Sunshine, you can also do that, right? Why I like this color instead of the really, really black color is that it's easy for my eyes because it kind of match the rest of the AutoCAD interface, if you see, right? So you can see the drawing tabs as well as the ribbon kind of have the same color theme, which again make things for your eyes easier, right? So that's what I like, instead of changing from one color to another color each time you see something in AutoCAD. So again, that's a personal preference, but thank you for sharing that, Rachel. Duke says, but I do keep paper space white so it looks more like paper. Yes, so if you do that, Duke, I'll suggest that you go ahead and watch a video that we did here on the channel. Let me go ahead and find it over here. To kind of simplify your life even farther, right? Let me see over here, latest. It was about having your paper space as I don't know what is it now. I'll find it later and let you know, Duke. But the idea is basically that if you want to have this paper space white, Duke, there is some settings that you can change to actually show your line work with the thickness as it will actually print, right? So I think if you're using a white background, you should have that option on then all the time, right? So that way you don't have to do a print preview to actually see your colors and line weights, right? You could immediately see it right here. So I have a video that we did, but I cannot find it right now, so I'll maybe let you know later. Douglas says also, I used to do it in blue when we print blueprints with ammonia. Yeah, Doug, I don't know that much about that, but thank you for sharing. Maybe some people on the chat might know about ammonia. Rachel says, Clemens Douglas showing your age here. Showing your age here. Live with everybody. All right, so let me know if you have any comments or questions regarding this setting that I just went over, about the colors, right, for the background in the new AutoCAD 2024. So let me get ready over here on my screen to go over with the next setting. So all right, let me get some. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm ready for the next setting over here. Let me see. Okay. Let me open one more drawing for this next setting. We have comment on the chat is Douglas says, yes, Rachel. I figure someone would pick up on that. That's Jerry stuff there, Douglas. Okay. All right. So let's start with the number 613. I think it's number 6. No, number 5. Number 5. All right. So we want to simplify our life publishing our drawings, right? But every time we publish something in Autocad, we will have also the paper space tabs as well as the model tab, which we don't want, right? Because we 99% of the time print or publish layouts or paper space tabs. So then that's another setting that I changed in Autocad 2024. So what I did is simply select one of the model tabs or drawing and right click on it, and there was an option here that says include layouts or include model. So I unchecked, of course, the include model, so that way the next time I publish a drawing, I would only see over here layouts or paper space tabs and not model tabs. So but for this example, I still don't see the changes, because again, you will see those changes the next time you publish. So for now, what I did is simply select this 3D DWF option, so that way I sorted all of my model drawings and simply erase them like so. So that way I could quickly go ahead and do my publish, right? So the way I'm gonna do my publish is going over here and select, of course, my folder location, which again was another setting I needed to specify, right? So for now, I'm gonna simply save it over here under my business tab and select that and hit publish. So again, there were more settings over here. So I would say yes and close, and finally close. But those are some settings that I changed for Autocad 2024. So let me go ahead now and try to find where I saved them, right? All right. So we have a comment on the chat. What do you think about this setting that we change for publish? So you can see now that when I publish now, right, I won't have the model drawings showing up here. so that way I can simplify my life and avoid having to manually erase those model drawings tabs. All right, so what do you think, guys, about this way of simplifying your life, right, in AutoCAD with this setting that I changed for AutoCAD 2024? So let me go and jump to the chat. Let's see. Douglas says, Irving, I just opened 2024 or snap setting. They did remove the mid between 2 points from the list. 2023 has it. Are you sure about Duke? Because the mid between 2 points, I always been using it from 2 different locations, but never from the object snap settings. So the 2 locations where I used was one using the shortcut. So for instance, move and using the shortcut M2P, right, for middle between 2 points, and that way I can select 2 points and grab my object exactly from the center or from the middle. And then the next option that how I used it was by going and right click on it and select so move. Okay, so holding the shift on my keyboard, I could right click, and this way there is an option over here. Where is it? Let me meet between 2 points right here, Douglas. So those are the 2 ways that I used this middle between 2 points option. But you are suggesting, Douglas, that, or saying that it was also under the object snaps. I didn't remember that. I don't remember that, Duke, but maybe you are right. So, but thank you for sharing also your findings as a running snap. That is okay. Rachel says, why would they leave that geometry center you never use and remove the mid snap? Again, that's a personal preference, Rachel. I mean, for you, you might not use that geometry center. For other people, they might love that geometry center, right? So again, that's I think to debate. So for people who don't know, here in the chat, let me demonstrate that geometric center. So for instance, right now, if I want to move this rectangle, right, using the move command, there's no way for me to grab it exactly from the center of this geometry, right, which would be somewhere around here, right? There's no way for me to snap exactly on that center. I mean, there are some tricks that I could use, like the middle between 2 points, right? We can do that. And then select 2 points, and that way I can grab my rectangle from the middle. But there is also some snap settings here, geometric center, that our friend Rachel is referring to, that if we have this activated, we can go ahead, and move our object with the move command again, and we will have a guide over here on the center that you can see is helping us to grab that rectangle from the geometric center. So this way I can simply click on it and grab my rectangle exactly from the center point. So again, that's a personal preference. I used it. Our friend Rachel is saying that he doesn't use it. So again, that's a debate that we can have here like for hours, but we wouldn't agree, right? So, but thank you, Rachel, for bringing this to our attention, right? So we have another comment on the chat, says, Douglas, I'll give publish a go. Oh, you never tried Publish, Doug? Yeah, man, give it a shot. It's very helpful for plotting multiple drawings at the same time. So we have Douglas says, I just checked, the shortcut works. Or awesome, you can use the shortcut now for meet between 2 points, but not in the list. Correct. Douglas says X and Y filters. Polar snap. You guys are giving me the object snap settings over here. Again, showing my age using filters. You don't want to show your age, Duke, but sharing your knowledge and your experience with AutoCAD is kind of telling your age to everybody here. Is that what's happening? All right. So let me get ready over here for the next setting. And let me know in the chat if you have questions or you want to say something about these settings that we're just changing in AutoCAD 2024, right? So let me go here and go to the setting number 4. I'm gonna get ready over here, guys. Don't just give me a second. Okay. All right. So let's see over here. Okay, I'm gonna get ready over here. All right. So this would be setting number 4. So you want to PDF your drawings quickly, right? But when you use the publish command to do so, so one more drawings I'll save, which I say. Okay, it's fine. So I'm gonna use, oops. Oops, 1 second, guys. Let me get ready over here. I'm getting ready over here. Give me 1 second. So PDF to DWG, that's fine. Over here. PDF to DWG. And then page 7. Okay. All right. So I'm having some technical difficulties here to show the next setting, and I'm trying to do this live, right, to figure this out. So 1 second. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is so what I'm gonna do is kind of what I'm gonna do is kind of create a couple of copies of my drawing, right, to demonstrate this next setting. So okay, so I have 3 layout tabs over here, which again is for example purposes of this next feature. So let me PDF. Sorry. One second over here, guys. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm ready, guys. So you want to let's see over here. You want to create a PDF of your work, but when you publish your drawing, so when you publish your drawing, the result will be a it's not working. This thing is not working. Okay. Only 1 second, guys. I don't know why this setting is working. Let me see if I can figure this out. Nope. No. Again, I'm trying to figure these technical difficulties live. Okay, maybe try something different really quick over here. Okay, I'll do a final test. If not, I'll just jump to the next setting, guys, because this setting is giving me trouble right now. So this is one at a time. All right, I'll jump to the next setting. I couldn't figure this out live. So let's jump to the next setting. Okay. Okay, let's jump to the next setting, guys. So this would be setting number 3, I believe. So, all right. So you want to print or PDF your drawings quickly, but when you try to do so, to create your PDF, right? So I'm gonna create this PDF quickly. You'll have a problem with your PDF of, let me open it over here. So you'll have a problem over here with your PDF where there is a comment on your PDF for each text or font, as you can see. So this is again Autocad exporting your PDF with these comments. So, and this would cause problems, right? Because if we have a big set of drawings, this will make the process of printing very, very slow. So we want to avoid that, and the way we do it is changing a setting in AutoCAD. And the setting is, let me go over here. So the setting, guys, is the PDF SHX. So that's the setting that we need to change in AutoCAD 2024 from 1 to 0. And this way, when you create your PDF, right? So I'm gonna create my PDF and say save. And let's open that PDF. We won't have this problem of commenting or comments showing in your PDF like so. All right. So what do you think about this setting that we need to change in AutoCAD 2024, guys, to avoid this problem? So let me know in the chat. Okay. All right. So before we continue with the last setting, so Dropper Engineer says hi on the chat. Hi, Dropper Engineer. Glad to have you here again. So the last setting I changed in AutoCAD 2024 is the Ortho Mode. So the Ortho Mode is right here on my status bar. And the problem that I have with the Ortho Mode is that it might be turned on in one drawing, but when I start another drawing, sometimes it shows as off. So there's no way for me to have it on all the time. So, and this other video on your screen is gonna show you a trick to have your Ortho Mode always on, so you can draw straight lines all the time. All right. So let me go and jump to the chat before we wrap up today's live stream with 7 people live. That's awesome. So what do you think about these 10 settings that I changed in AutoCAD 2024? So let me know in the chat before we wrap up today's live stream, right? We share, I think were 9 settings that I changed in AutoCAD, in the new AutoCAD 2024. So let's see if you have any comments. So what do you think about these settings? Says, I personal preference, I turn off trade notify system variable. That yellow box is annoying. Yes, that's another setting that we need to change, my friend. I mean, this video was about 10 settings, but in reality, I could do another video with 10 more settings, like Rachel was saying. That yellow box, the train notify option, we could also change that. But yeah, maybe, you know, depending on this video, let's say this video get thousands of views and get viral, why not doing a second follow-up video, right? 10 more settings to change in AutoCAD 2024. That would be 20 total settings. But that's a great comment, Rachel. Let's see if we have more comments before we wrap up today's live stream. Not sure I understand what just happened with PDF. I print to PDF, then in Adobe I bind all pages, then print or send out for printing. Fine. You bind all of your pages in Adobe, then print or send out for printing. You don't have to do that, Duke. I mean, I never, well, yeah, sure. I think I understand your point. So what you do is you export your PDFs individually for each drawing, and then there is an option in Adobe program to select all of your individual PDFs and then combine them right into one single set or PDF. I think that's what you're referring to. Yeah, I mean that's what I do too also, Duke. So yeah, that's a good process. I do that too also, because that way it's easier, right? Because if you export individual PDFs, it will come with the correct naming. So but if you export only one single PDF, then you will have to how do I say, you will have to export or separate each sheet, and it won't give you the correct name, so you will have to manually rename them. So yeah, Duke, I think that's what I also do. I combine them using Adobe. Yes, the yellow box is very common in Autocad architecture. Yeah, he's talking about Rachel's comment, the notify balloon over here on my corner. All right, guys, let me know. Douglas says yes. All right, so I think I'm gonna stop right here and go ahead and start thinking on our next live stream, right, for next Sunday at 10 a.m. So yeah, guys, so I had a great day today with you guys, going over these settings for the new AutoCAD 2024 that we need to change. So that was awesome that you guys participated, asked me questions, give me ideas. That was great. I really like that, instead of just me talking all the time, right? You guys are also part of the live show. So Dua says, while I'm thinking about it, is next week the live Zoom? It's out of Greek Easter, so I might or might not make it. No, it's not next week, Duke. Next week would be the 16th. No, it would be on April 30. Yeah, April 30. That's not next week. Douglas is asking about our live or our Zoom CAD meetings that we do with all of the members of our channel. So since you are a member, Douglas, to answer your question, no, it's not next week. Our next CAD meeting is by the end of each month, and that will be on April 30. So thank you for asking, and thank you, Rachel. Also, Douglas is awesome. All right, guys, so I'm gonna stop right here. Hope you had wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next Sunday.